Not just Ryan Joyce, but of course Gian van Veen as well. And the magic that he has conjured up so far this weekend. You do feel if he can maintain those sorts of levels, he is going to be very, very difficult to eliminate.
96.
My favourite times of year on the calendar are tournaments like this, going into the match play and going into the end of year spectacular at Ali Pali.
69.
Now,
Raymond
Raymond
require 170.
couldn't get a 161 in leg 1. Can he get a 170 in leg 3? Over to you. Early signs are good. My voice is going to go to shreds today.
But yeah, still 11 missed darts at a double, the bulk of those coming early on. He seems to have sorted things out, tightened things up on the finishing.
As a dart player, you've got to have that ability to move on from disappointment, whether it's from the end of a match or something mid-match. Ryan's historically really good at that. He might have to go through it again. What a great riposte from RVB. But he's going to have company in the finishing zone.
140. Raymond, you require 41.
The thing is, though, well, let's just see if Barney takes this double 16. Yes, he does. Now, the warning signs here, I think, for Searle.
$139.
Great mathematics from Heavy Metal.
Absolutely, giving himself every opportunity because Barney will be getting down to a finish from here.
Notice how still Raymond is on dart 3. Ryan's very different. He is moving forward on dart 3, but is he moving forward in the score as well? He is! What a finish! If you've got a very large checkout bingo card going today, that's 2 that you're going to have to scratch off. The 2 hardest ones of the lot. It went deep. 11 legs. It was nowhere near as good as this.
92.
Yeah.
And the last time Raymond made a quarter-final 6 years ago, he beat Kim Huybrechts in that last 16 match and averaged 102.
100.
He's averaging 102 now.
144.
Well, this will do his average the world of good if he can take this out, but he won't take out the 144. But again, he's in good position on throw with Searle
94.
somewhat adrift in this one. Searle just needs to post something significant just to keep himself alive and keep himself
Raymond, you require 50.
in the rearview mirror of Raymond van Barneveld. Double 16 once again to level things up at 5 apiece. And, well, I'm sure I'm not alone in saying that this...
But it might not make any difference. The scenes, if Raymond hits this. We've had the 167, we've had the 170. We're not going to get another one, 160 plus.
58.
And it may well be that Ryan Searle
59.
completes the job with 14 darts. Tops. How is it this time? Bit of a flyer.
19.
And that one nudged the wire, and Barney, the door is open once again. Looking at 106 for a passage into the quarterfinals on the European Tour, something he has not achieved for some time. 86 away, treble 18 to leave. Guess what? Double 16.
82.
Wow. Everybody thought that was going. And that doesn't go.
20.
This game has had everything, including mismatched darts from both players.
Barney on strike, double 12, and Raymond van Barneveld keeps the dream alive once again. Disposing of Michael van Gerwen yesterday, and now disposing of Ryan Searle, whose wait for a first European Tour title continues.
But he's done that before when he had 10. On a Players' Championship, he went for a 2-hit double 2.
140.
Then he hit 2 for another double 2, and it looked like genius.
Yeah, well, he did actually mention that. He said, I've done it before, it was fine, but not this time.
170.
Brilliant stuff from Joe Cullen.
And that's really good thinking as well. 3-1-2. Obviously, 180 leaves 1-3-2, which is a gettable
60.
finish.
Joe, you require
But
142.
by going the 25 or bull route, you're guaranteeing a finish. Oh, Joseph Cullen. What are you doing to us?
Play.
Oh, that's 3-star Michelin dishes right there. Cullen would love to get a fourth. He's won in a couple of different countries and still is the reigning Hungarian Darts Trophy champion.
97.
He will be seeded for that, by the looks of it, unless something silly happens.
Using the board well there to get to a finish, which should at least guarantee one dart at the outer ring if he's allowed to go. And he may be.
All
right, Joyce, last dart, that is vital. He's not finished well in this game, but he's finishing just about well enough. Not right now, anyway.
56.
Just how important is this game for Ryan Joyce's chances of making the European Championship? Because he's the lowest ranked person in the European Tour Order of Merit left
96.
in the field. A win in this game would elevate him very close to the top 32 with more possibilities
96.
and 3 events to go as well in the autumn.
Okay, 65 left. Is it 15 and bull? He goes aggressive, it pays off.
34.
He gets a dart at tops. It was a risk,
150.
but he couldn't hit the double anyway.
Calculated gamble with Cullen on 150, but boom! Just like that, things have changed. But you do tend to find that the Sunday afternoon crowds are a tiny bit more respectful than, say, a Saturday night.
Right, and this one isn't done yet either.
133. Joe, you acquire 130.
This would be some way to get a hat-trick of ton-plus finishes. And it's on.
Bullseye.
82.
Match dart missed by Joe Cullen. We saw 5 match darts missed by Ryan Searle in the opening game of the day before he went on to lose. Oh, it's wild and high.
117.
And is that the last dart that Ryan Joyce throws as the Euro Tour quarterfinal beyond him once again? Yes, it is, because Joe Cullen pulls that one out the fire. He was in all sorts of problems, but a stunning 150 checkout turned the match around. Even then, he had to rely on Ryan Joyce missing a checkout to force a last leg decider. I know there's a lot made of the equipment and tinkering this, that and the other, and sometimes it does play a role. It changes how the darts fly, how they collide with each other and everything. But ultimately, as long as it's not a wildly different set, Michael Smith is going to be all right.
100.
The grip where he actually holds the dart, it's only the very centre of the dart, is pretty much identical to the set he'd been using for years.
That's exactly the point that Paul made yesterday, Nicholson in commentary, when we discussed the new darts.
161.
Bloke's one of the most talented darts players I've ever seen. Throw anything, this lad. He'll hit anything, this lad. 161, Michael Smith. What a start from the world champ.
'97.
Yeah, Josh Rock beaten by Johnny Clayton in that final in Graz. He was beaten by Clayton in a subsequent Pro Tour event as well, but won't be encountering Clayton this weekend because he is
98.
already on his way home. Beaten by James Wade yesterday.
All 121.
Problem for Josh Rock here. The 101 is probably going to have to go.
Josh require 101.
Might go. Double 16, it does.
Yeah,
he's in the game.
Josh Rock.
It's living up to the bill in this one.
Game on.
Did we have a Danny Baggish lookalike in the crowd there?
136.
Not him, obviously.
The camera team are now furiously scurrying around, scanning a crowd of 3,500 people to find a Danny Baggish lookalike.
I mean, he was saying a sign saying, "I am Danny Baggish." There's a clue.
100. Michael, you require 100.
That's not him either, surely.
Oh, yeah, okay. I see it.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Double top. Yeah, 11 darter.
Michael Smith.
Forget about the records. They're not going to go. But what about a 9-darter? The world champion, world #1, needed a brilliant leg. The man who hit a 9-darter in the World Championship final on his way to victory at the start of the year is on a 9 here in Trier.
141.
As he looks to reassert control, but the dream dies with that 7th dart.
89.
And the crowd voiced their frustration, but Michael Smith, more importantly perhaps, an 11-darter to get back in front at 5-4.
100. Michael, you require 52.
11-darter.
Michael Smith.
Brilliance from Michael Smith.
Smith turns to strike now.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you've just signed some massive deal with a darts manufacturer to change your equipment and you want to promote it, doing this sort of madness in your very first tournament with the Arrows isn't a bad business move, is it? Can't complete his business with a 138 checkout, but he'll leave himself on tops, and Josh Rock has to produce a ton-plus checkout to stay in the match.
Looking at the 18s. Needs 3. Gets 3. Chance for Rock. Bullseye.
97.
And that might well be the last dart that he throws this weekend.
What a game, what a contest, what a fight from Josh Rock. But what a player Michael Smith is, and what a performance that is. A 6-4 victory. The world champ beats the world youth champ. He averages close to 111.
Well, Van Duijvenbode might just be harbouring ambitions of a second break of throw here, especially now.
135. Dimitri require 161.
And Van den Bergh looking at a big finish. And he may well need it, because Van Duijvenbode, I think, just seems to be warming to the task now.
65. Dirk require 127.
By the end of the day, we might get a full boat of big finishes. We're only missing 160 and 161 now. No,
Yeah.
164, I do beg your pardon, because Smith got the 161. Is Dirk getting a 127? Oh, my word. Finishing school from the players today.
Yeah, 2 breaks to the good. I mean, that is very hard to wrestle back at the best of times, let alone against Van Duijvenbode when he's in this mood. But to be fair to Van den Bergh, he's making a really good fist of this one on the DVD throw.
It's a 41-dart burst. We've seen better in 3-leg bursts this weekend. We've seen somebody do a 36. We've seen a 38, a 39. You get the feeling that Dirk is in a somewhat relentless, malicious mood. He is 13-5 down to Dimitri in their head-to-head record. But it means absolutely nothing when he's playing this well. Okay, maximum leave double 2. That's off.
98.
But now this 1-2-1 has got to be popped. Otherwise, the door might be closed on Trier this year for Dimitri.
80.
Well, that could be that.
Dirk require 86.
Because 54 for 32. Bullseye.
Good.
And what a way to seal the deal for Dirk Van Duijvenbode. Not many people had that one down for a 6-0 walloping, but Van den Bergh, you have to say, has been absolutely annihilated in the scoreline.
At all. But every now and again, his darts do go in too flat, but at the minute they're going in at that
90.
lovely, slightly upright angle, which he can really use to stack underneath. This looks as healthy as ever.
Yeah, look at this.
140.
Well, it was a well-thrown dart, it's just skidded in between the pair of them, but...
It's a bit like that Humphries dart we saw yesterday.
Yes. Well, Rob Cross had
59.
periods of inertia
James
against
requires
Mickey Mantle
64.
yesterday and bursts in the match. He needs a burst pretty soon, because James Wade is just going to go about his business here. Yeah, very, very straightforward this for James Wade.
Amongst all of the players on the PDC Tour, he still has that reputation, but maybe not as much, thanks to what
60.
Michael van Gerwen did with his last leg shooter record on the European Tour for about 3 years.
Yeah, and look, James Wade is still one of the best darts players on the planet. He has not been as successful over the last 2 years as he has been in the preceding, 18? That's why he's where he is in the rankings. He's still very successful.
Nice bounce back from Cross here. That is the first maximum of the game.
100.
Like you said, Dan, it's only one break of throw. Panic stations miles away.
He's got all the time in the world in this leg as well. It's the sort of leg that Rob Cross would have been desperate for. And producing 11 darter this afternoon. And James Wade, while he's not hitting the heights numerically that he was yesterday against Johnny Clayton, this is a ruthlessly efficient and clinical performance from the machine.
And he doesn't make any sort of mathematical errors that he made maybe earlier in his career. He's a much better counter than he was.
Well, he has been playing it for 2 odd decades, hasn't he? You'd think he'd have learned it.
Some people don't learn.
No, that's true.
Maybe he's a learning machine, like a Terminator.
100. Robbie require
well, that's a new one.
Looks like Roland Rat.
Cross needs to find the treble. He has. But can he find the double 16? It's just to hold his throw. Clinging on to this one by his fingernails, Rob Cross.
James, you require 125.
Interesting choice from Cross. May not matter. And it does, because James Wade's visibly disgusted with that attempt.
Such an interesting reaction to that shot. Oh, no. Now it's got to be different. He can't go that route anymore. It's got to be 57. Well, if you want to go for the bull, you can go for 45, but you won't. Treble 19 and double to save the match. Would have been some shot. But he's 39. Taken some hits in this game.
James, you require 60.
Well, the damage was done early by James Wade. Went 3-0 up and has protected his lead ever since. There was a little glimmer of an opportunity for Rob Cross. He was unable to take it, and James Wade punishes. He is hitting 60% of his doubles. Appearance, that was in Sindelfingen the last time out. He lost in the quarterfinals to Luke Humphries. Humphries had to average 110 to stop him. He'd already beaten Jermaine Wattermain, Danny Noppert and Josh Rock, which isn't a bad trio of names to collect.
It's just been an astonishing 8 months for Van Veen. Ever since he had that astonishing run to the final of Players' Championship 29 towards the end of last year. There's another look at that, down to 58 after 9 darts.
97. Gianni required 58.
Well, fluffed his lines with his finishing in the previous, but he's got loads of darts in hand here, and he only needs one this time.
He wasn't very good. He not looked good enough to get in the Dutch national team or anything, which is obviously, you know, a level that he hadn't reached. He knew there were loads of players better than him. Right now, there are no young Dutch players better than Gian van Veen. And there aren't many players full stop on the planet that are better than Gian van Veen based on what's being thrown this year.
Well, there'll be plenty of fans out there looking forward to watching this young man in the World Championship, assuming he finishes the business on the development tour side of things this year. Slightly premature end to the development tour season this time around. It comes to a conclusion around about August, which surprised me. Anyway, 45 here for Van Veen. High caliber leg, this one.
37.
Those two darts, both nudging the wire on double 16 and double 8 respectively. Schindler with a chance to break back straight away. Bullseye required.
61.
Once again, he can only find the green bed.
Gianni require 8.
Shindy's having to hit bullseyes for 12 darters here just to try and stay in the game. Van Veen has had darts to win every leg. And he is 4-1 up, and he's deservedly 4-1 up.
Might come down here with this particular visit.
Yeah, about 10 minutes ago, I think I said that he's 54. Not going to keep on averaging 108 all weekend. He is.
He might do. Well, Shindy's going to have to work hard here just to apply some pressure, and he's going the right way about it. Well played, Martin Schindler. Just a little reminder for Gian van Veen, who's now looking at 76. We'll want to extinguish any Shindy hopes here and now. Double 18 for 5-1.
40.
Well,
Martin, you
he's
require
certainly missing
48.
more darts at a double today than he has done for the rest of the weekend. Shindy, can he pounce? 48. Well, double 8. Missed double 8 last time, didn't he? And he's missed
32.
it again.
Gian, you require 36. Game shot.
Beating Gian van Veen at the minute is very difficult.
After the occasional loose dart.
Yeah, he's missed some darts at double, which he hadn't been doing all weekend, and that has allowed Schindler opportunities. He hasn't been able to take enough of them, but even if he had taken a few more, Van Veen would probably still be in the lead. And he's racing towards the finishing line here.
Almost.
GVV is the He's the governor of this game, and he may well be the governor of this tournament come the end of it.
11 darter incoming to round things off, and another feather in the cap for Gian van Veen. One more dart at tops.
18.
Well, the champagne's on ice. Shindy still on 200, so Van Veen will return, but can we call it a concern that he's had 8 missed darts at a double?
140.
I don't think so. I think he's entitled to miss a few today.
If one of the next 3 goes, it won't be a concern. But everybody else had better be concerned about this young man, because Gian van Veen is some talent. For the 3rd game running, it's a ton-plus average.
Thinner stems, trimming them down, surely changes the flight and the aerodynamics of the dart itself, so you have to factor that into the equation anyway, before you can start even to think about how they position in the bed.
You might take a gram or possibly 2 grams off your dart and think that's going to be beneficial, but in some cases it isn't. The engineer that has been working with Nathan on these, they really do come into their own, because if they get it wrong, the players will recognise it. Double 7. Nothing wrong with that. Plenty of fans out there for the Asp.
During the interval, I think we will keep more than half an eye on events in northwest London.
It might be over by then. 1-4-3 for Aspinall. It's a really tough ask. I said earlier that the 2 hardest finishers had been hit this afternoon. In fact, this is just as hard. Almost showed us how it was done. This leg isn't over yet. That 68 is no gimme.
Ooh, not far away from the treble 14. Might all be academic anyway, whether he got the treble or not, because Noppert is looking at 68. Just the 1 dart at the double.
I think he knows how important this is.
This is a potentially pivotal moment. Oh, that was a lot. That was a very nervous-looking dart, wasn't it? That just dipped and faded away, and Aspinall can step in, and this would be the first break of throw in what we always thought was going to be a very tight match indeed. 2 darts at tops, and Aspinall only needs 1, and it's a 14-dart break. But yeah, a loose visit here from Aspinall might just give Noppert something to work with.
Do you know what's been really good in this game from Nathan? His line. He's been so central on the scoring. That one there is a perfect example. Everything down the pipe.
Yeah, even that double 5 that he hit was bang equidistant in the middle of that
Absolutely.
double 5 bed, wasn't it?
And these are things that you will pick up on as a player in a match. My line's good. All I've got to do is just brush up on that weight of the dart. I mean, even there, that's 2 small 20s, but the line is spot on. He doesn't really want to switch here, but you fancy that the 18s is the better switch.
88.
But that was really good. That 48 gets him under 130.
Chance here, though, for Noppert, certainly now. Double 14. And there we go, an instant break back for Danny Noppert.
I remember hitting a 170 finish in the World Championship stage against Kim Huybrechts, and then he pops in a maximum next throw, and I gave him a high 5, and it looked like I enjoyed him hitting it. I really didn't. 10 out of 10 for creativity on that one. That was the Pinocchio of all foam fingers. Another exchange imminent. Can Noppert draw level?
Well, this is, again, maybe an opportunity for Aspinall to hit back straight away, but Danny Noppert
56.
has given him the opportunity.
There may be a reaction if he hits this one. It's been a quality contest. Is it Bull? It is. And he's got it. There's a reaction for you. That's a really good way to manage game anxiety, or indeed your heart rate. Slow exhalation. It's not about the intake, it's about the exhale.
Well, that loose one wasn't too much of a hindrance. Aspinall looking at Shanghai. How much pressure will he be under?
60.
One would suggest maybe not that much. However,
I think his ideal first start is just above here. Or he'll take that one. It's ladder climbing time.
first match start for Nathan Aspinall for a 6-3 win, and it's off target. And Danny Noppert now looking at 135 to keep himself going in this third round match. Gets the 25. Can't get the 60. Just wonder how the lie would have been for the bullseye. It looks okay to me.
It was really good as well. It would have been so Danny if he'd hit that. Tops for the quarters. And Aspinall does it with very little bother this time. I just wonder if we're going to see them again on the European Tour this year.
He hadn't got rid of it by the time he faced Bunting. He didn't want to use it as an excuse, but he did look rather lethargic. He didn't have the energy in his performances that we kind of expected, because the TV tournaments leading up to the World Championship, Luke Humphries had been brilliant.
Yeah.
Quarterfinals and semi-finals. He was bringing that Euro Tour form to the big TV stages.
Well, it just goes to show how well he was playing in 2022 at the back end. Because even when he wasn't well throughout the whole tournament, he still made the last 16. I thought that was a really heroic last 16 run. But Bunting really likes Ali Pally, doesn't he?
41.
Maybe not as much as some others who have won it, but you might want to watch out for him later in the year. That's a great response from Humphries. That is shutting the door.
Yes.
Having said that, if you were to offer him the option of being a finalist on the European Tour or winning a Players' Championship, I know what he would take. He'd take the win. But he's becoming a ranking money vacuum, which is a good reputation to have. And of all the players who've had a bit of a break over the last 4 weeks, I think Humphries is seen as the most likely to get back to winning ways. He's going to be very fresh come Blackpool, that's for sure.
103.
Well, there's a
127.
one treble combo that doesn't go. Here's another one that might. Because it was easier, because he got two trebles. Well, we have liftoff.
He made this sport look simple.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing something similar at the minute, actually, Gary Anderson. He's one of the best players of the year.
57.
But Luke Humphries, you're right. His style always lends itself to thinking this is too easy for you. But in my mind, I don't think there's been any question. The last 2.5 years, Luke Humphries has simply improved as a player. He's got better. The averages improve. The consistency improves. And once you add in the confidence of winning titles, he becomes an incredible force in this game. That's why he's the world number 6 right now. And was a couple of legs away from representing his country for the first time at the World Cup of Darts recently.
That'll come.
I think it will. It's going to be a fun battle between him, Rob Cross, and Michael Smith over the next few years. And who knows who else? Maybe Nathan Aspinall. Maybe somebody else.
Might need an England B team.
Bunting eyeing up the 104 just to hold his throw. Should get a dart. Will get a dart.
72. Require 84.
I'll tell you what would really hurt here if Humphries hits the bull on this. It hurts. It really hurts when people do that to you. Just like Joe Cullen in 2018 at the match play. Flygate. Seems to be forgotten though. It's a good job for Luke Humphries that he had a cushion at that point. It wasn't on a match dart, for example, when it's 5-5. Chances of another final session for Bunting are starting to shrink,
45.
and he knows it. Humphries can amble towards the line now.
He's played pretty well, Stephen, but he just hasn't had an answer to the barrage of 4-visit legs. And Luke Humphries might be about to produce a 4th 4-visit leg.
But this is what he was doing against Van Veen in Sindelfingen.
Yeah.
That's how impressive this has been. It's almost as if the number 1 seed is saying,
30.
with everything that's gone on this afternoon, don't you dare forget about me.
No danger of that. Because the defending champion is still in the tournament. It is a brilliant display, 109 average.